Ladies and gentlemen, the wait is finally over. Let the chaos ensue. For the first time in almost 2 years, we have gotten something official from Ubisoft regarding the Assassin's Creed Feudal Japan game, previously known as Codename Red, now officially known by its real title, Assassin's Creed Shadows. This morning, or evening, depending on where you are in the world, Ubisoft dropped a teaser on all their social media, giving us the official title, reveal date, and some hidden details. If you're wondering how I managed to get this video out so quickly after the teaser dropped, well, Ubisoft actually sent me this teaser about a week ago, so I could see it early and kind of digest it and try to find some of the hidden details and Easter eggs in it. Of course, I couldn't talk about it at all until the embargo lifted, but I've known about this for a bit now, and I was very eagerly awaiting today for when everyone gets to see it. Firstly, I'm just gonna let the teaser play for those who haven't seen it yet. It's very short, it's like 8 seconds, and then we'll break down everything. Alright, well the first thing I want to talk about is the title itself, Assassin's Creed Shadows. This is the official name. We don't have to call it Codename Red anymore, as we have for almost the last 2 years. I do believe I heard the name Shadows thrown around in a leak not that long ago, so it would appear that was correct. And I remember thinking at the time, I was kind of hoping that wasn't the title, because it seemed kind of generic to me. I mean, it's just a title, it doesn't really matter, but Shadows, I think it's a bit of a basic name, but maybe that's the point. I'm no pro in marketing. I was expecting a title that would kind of align with the Japanese setting, but whatever. Shadows kinda sounds like what a 12-year-old boy would name an AC game, but hey, it's fine. The title does make sense though, because if the leaks we heard a while back are to be believed, we'll actually be able to hide in the shadows and darkness in stealth in this game. And the title Shadows also implies a heavy emphasis on stealth. And you guys know how much of a priority stealth is to me in these games, so that has me quite hopeful. Let me know how you guys feel about the title Assassin's Creed Shadows though. At least it's easy to remember and say, maybe that's the whole point. The next obvious thing I want to talk about is the reveal date, May 15th. That is in 2 days on Wednesday. So I believe this reveal trailer will be the CG cinematic trailer we get for these games. That's usually how it goes. We get a couple teasers, and then the first reveal trailer for an AC game is the CGI one that gets everybody hyped and gives hints to features we can expect from the game. So I wouldn't be expecting gameplay on May 15th. It's likely just the cinematic trailer, and then I think the rest of this game's marketing will be similar to last year with Mirage. So important dates to keep in mind are June 10th and whenever the PlayStation Showcase is, which is still believed to be this month. Last year we got our first ever Mirage gameplay trailer at that same showcase. I don't know if that will be the case this year with Shadows. Man, it feels weird to call it that now. I'm not sure of whatever deal Ubisoft has with Sony, but there is still a decent chance we could see the first gameplay trailer this month at the PlayStation Showcase. But then obviously June 10th is Ubisoft Forward, which is pretty much guaranteed to give us some gameplay of Shadows. So all this is happening in less than a month, very soon. I hope you are all ready for the chaos. But anyways, now that we've gotten the obvious things out the way, let's get back to this teaser, because Ubisoft told me there were Easter eggs and hidden details in this teaser that hint at features that will be in Shadows. But the first thing I found interesting about this teaser is the location. This is obviously modern Japan, which is a bit strange since obviously this is a game that will take place in feudal Japan, and to be precise, this location is Sutenkaku. Apologies if I mispronounce, but you can actually see it on the sign right there. And this is a real-life tower and landmark in Japan. You can see the tower very clearly in the back, and for some reason they have decided to have this teaser be located here, in Osaka, Japan. So what could possibly be the significance of Sutenkaku in relation to Shadows in a feudal Japan game? Well, I believe this is actually where Shadows is going to take place. Not in modern day Japan, but in Osaka, where this tower is located. After doing some research of Osaka, I noted that it was a city that began to flourish during the Edo period from 1603 to 1867, a period we believe Shadows is going to be taking place in based on the leaks we had gotten previously. It also became the center of Japanese culture, so it makes perfect sense for the game to be in this general area. And to support this even further, while I was doing my research, I saw that Oda Nobunaga, a real-life person who was leaked to be a character in this game, led a decade-long siege on a temple in Osaka in 1570. And furthermore, Toyotomi Hideyoshi, another real-life person who has leaked to be a character in this game, built Osaka Castle in the ruins of that very temple in 1583. So I believe that is absolutely the confirmation that this is where this game is taking place. So that is why this is the location shown in this teaser in modern Japan. Now, I'm sure there's going to be some other small details I may miss. I'm going to need your guys' help with this. It's a community effort, but there are some other things I took note of that I'm not entirely positive are correct, but I'll share my theories with you guys anyways. One of the immediate things I noticed are the numbers on the signs here, 9-22. Maybe these numbers mean absolutely nothing, but I'm operating here under the assumption that everything in this shot was deliberately and intentionally put there. So what's the significance of 9-22? Well, my first thought was September 22nd. This game is believed to be coming out in the fall, so that date could very possibly be the release date, and furthermore, when looking up September 22nd to see if it has any significance in Japanese culture, it is actually a public holiday in Japan called Autumnal Equinox Day. Every year, it's either on the 22nd or 23rd of September, depending on the date of the southward equinox. It's a holiday where people remember and pay respects to their ancestors, reconnect with family, and visit shrines and temples. So perhaps Ubisoft wants to intentionally launch Shadows on this Japanese holiday? It makes sense. Or maybe this is one massive coincidence and I'm going insane, who can really say? Or perhaps there is a significance to September 22nd in regards to the game, but it's not the release date. I don't know what else it would be, but you never know. We may get the release date with the reveal trailer. In fact, it's probably pretty likely, so we may find out very soon if my theory is correct. Now, let's bring attention to the massive hourglass in the center here. I'm not sure if this is counting down to the reveal trailer or the actual launch of the game. If the reveal trailer is in 2 days, I would think this hourglass would be more full, so maybe it is counting down to the launch, but we don't have a reference of what the hourglass looked like before this, obviously, so I'm not really sure. It may just be for the reveal trailer, but there are numbers and letters here at the bottom of the hourglass that I took note of. It's a little bit hard to see them all, but I believe it is S89. I can't tell if this is an N or a V. I think it's an N. And then -029S. I have no idea what this means. I tried looking up this weird sequence of letters and numbers and got nothing. I can't think of anything off the top of my head that could possibly explain what this means. I'm sure someone will figure it out. I can't connect the dots right now. It has to be there for a reason though. There's no way they just put random letters and numbers with no significance on the hourglass. My only guess is maybe the time period? Maybe the numbers mean that the game will be taking place from 1589 to 1629? I don't know what the letters would mean exactly then. Maybe like the S stands for start, like the game will start in 1589. But then what does the other S mean? Maybe it stands for Sengoku, like the Sengoku period, but these dates fall into the Edo period. I'm driving myself crazy trying to think of the possibilities. Let me know if you think you have a good guess. But next, I wanted to translate the Japanese here. I don't speak Japanese, of course. I used Google Translate, so if anyone who speaks Japanese feels any of these translations are inaccurate, please let me know. But I started with this yellow banner to begin with, which says Izakaya Samurai, which izakayas are kind of like bars. So first I'm like, oh okay, this must just be a bar or something near Sutenkaku. But then I looked into izakaya a little deeper, and its origins are actually very interesting. It's not exactly like the stereotypical bar many of us may think of. They also serve snacks and such, and people are seated closely together on benches. And I bet you can guess when these izakayas started to become popular and take on their most recognizable form. That's right, the Edo period. Once again, when we believe this game to be taking place. So perhaps there will be izakayas in the game that we can visit and hang out at. And again, it even literally says samurai as well, implying that even further. I translated this red banner next, which gave me hidden with home. I'm not exactly sure what this one could mean. Maybe it's referring to our hidden hideout in the game. We heard in a leak that we'll have a hideout similar to the Valhalla settlement system, so maybe that's what this means. Or the translation is just wrong, I'm not sure. And the whale blimp above the hourglass says tea house and tolerate. Part of it is cut off on the left side, but this one seems pretty self-explanatory. Perhaps there will be tea houses in the game as well. Not sure what tolerate would mean in this context though. Next, I did this yellow banner that says Sutenkaku on it. At first, I thought it only said Sutenkaku, but when I translated it, it came out to be Babel Star, which sounds like the most random thing, but once again, I dug a little bit deeper and discovered that it's likely a reference to the Tower of Babel, which is a story from the book of Genesis in the Bible. And get this, it's a story about humanity's attempt to build a tower to reach the heavens, which cannot be a coincidence since we have this massive tower, Sutenkaku, right here, and it literally even says Sutenkaku right next to this. And the story goes that God saw this tower as an act of pride and defiance from the humans, and so he made them unable to understand each other's words and scattered them across the globe, which is seen as symbolizing the origins of different languages and the division of human society. Bear with me here, it's also commonly seen as to represent human vanity and the consequences of overreaching ambition, which may be symbolizing the themes of AC Shadows' narrative. There's lots of conquest and war going on at this time, and I'm sure we will see plenty of vanity and overreaching ambition by many different leaders. That is a super interesting reference, and I think I'm right about it, but of course I can't be for sure. Definitely an interesting one though. The final part I tried to translate was on this little white flag behind the hourglass, only it's too small for even Google Translate to detect, so this is where we're gonna need the assistance of any Japanese speakers watching this. I'm sure there's some kind of hidden detail or message related to the game on this. It's really hard to see because it's so small, but if anyone could translate that, it would be greatly appreciated. Again, I think nearly everything is there for a reason, except maybe the bikes. I'm not sure what relevance the bikes have here. You can see there's one on the right, and there's people riding them in the back. Cycling is very popular and an integral part of culture in Japan, only obviously there were no bikes yet in feudal Japan, so I'm not sure if they hold any relevance to the game itself. So aside from that, those are all the hidden details and things I picked up on. I may have missed something, let me know if you guys discover anything. Again, this is a community effort, but I feel like I discovered a good amount. This was actually really fun, getting to play detective like this, researching and trying to find out how all these different dots connect. I hope you enjoyed and found it helpful. We got the reveal in 2 days, so we'll have plenty more to talk about soon. Let me know how you guys are feeling about the teaser, the title Shadows, what you're hoping to see from the reveal, and as always, if you enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate it if you left a like and considered subscribing to the channel if you're new. And other than that, thanks for watching, and have a great rest of your day, Assassins.